Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to our abundance reading. Today is our day 150. One moment, and let's get on from Zoom to YouTube channel, get on the live streaming. One moment, get prepared of this book. I hope that you've already get a chance to check this book. We have the link in our comments. Like every day, if you check our comment, there's a link for free copy. Just bear with me one moment. Let me put this on our YouTube channel to start a live streaming. And it put on this playlist. We have a playlist for Abundance 365 days reading. So now let's get back to room. I'm still in the business suit today, the dinner. Normally I'm in like a very pajamas, kind of a casual dressing at home. And this evening we had a business meeting, networking. It's very good. I still keep my business suit. Long time did not wear my business one. I did not really get used to it. But then once I wear it, it's okay. Not so bad. And so here, this Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. Super great book. And we are getting close to it. But I know this one will stay with me for a long time. There's so much to implement, right? For reading, it's not just for reading for fun, and it's also for getting inspirations and get into practice, get into implementation mode, right? Today we're in the section 4. I always need to update. It's 4 already, and in secret number 17, the perfect webinar model for the funnel. So yesterday we read about the model, right, from the marketing campaign model for the perfect webinar. From Monday to Thursday, you do the promotion, and later Thursday, you do the live webinar, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's all for the urgency and the scarcity for the offers, right, for the offer, and also Friday, since Friday you have a replay. And Saturday, Sunday is just like the door is closing, it's closing until by the end of Sunday, it's closed. Okay, so maybe you heard about this kind of formula, but the key is Russell suggested, personally did over 60 actually, weekly webinar, and keep optimizing it. That means more than 1 year. Okay, over 60 weekly webinars. And so, and here he said, there's some testimonials, right? After every webinar, he's doing some update and based on people's feedback and get it better and better. For example, here is a testimonial from Joe Lavery. Russell Brunson, I'm in awe at how good you are at webinar pitching. Watching right now, every trick in the book being used like a pro. Every slide, every section, every word crafted intentionally. The sequence, the stack, the FAQs, the video testimonial, the offer, almost every objection planned for and obliterated. The countdown timer, overwhelmingly awesome execution. I don't think I've seen a better presentation, bro. Wow, that's a great one. So yes, eventually I will suggest that you automate the webinar, but not as first, okay, till you already practiced the dozens of them live. That means like around at least 52, right, a year, or even similar to Russell, around 60. And you need to get people's feedback, make changes, and perfect your webinar. Perfect webinar is perfect. It's not like it's born perfect, but it's like you keep perfect in it. It's more work, but the result could be worth tens of millions of dollars to you over time. Russell made that, remember, every year around 3 million. Let's say, yeah, 3 million every year for those 10 years. Wow. And every year keep growing. Now I'm sure some of you saw that I'm spending over 3,000 per week on Facebook alone to get people into my webinar and get a little nervous. Don't worry about that now. In section 22, in secret 22, I will be showing you ways to fill your funnel with the right people who are ready to buy. Yeah, that's a little bit nervous, right? You have to do advertisement for Facebook and spend a budget. And how about you spend $3,000 and nobody, very few people show up, right? You feel like nervous. And or how about you could not keep consistently having so many people to get in. Right? Russell mentioned an example. Their target, the data, I love the data, every week, 1,000 registrants That's their goal, okay? And 25 show up rate, 10% of close rate, and the double sales on follow-up replace together every week. The webinar targets $50,000. So let's see, where is that? The traffic, right? The traffic. Okay. He said there are methods like the Facebook strategy that cost money, but there are other ways that you can get people to attend your webinars for free. When you are spending money, start with a lower ad budget at first. Run your webinar a few times to get the kinks out and know what conversion rates to expect. Then you can spend more money on ads because you know what kind of return to expect. So we will see. He said lower budget. What is a lower budget? I mean, maybe a few $100. That's a lower one until then he gets a $3,000 budget every week. And every week is returning about 50,000. You see, it's just like $3K and 50,000 return for the targets, and definitely that's many times more than the budget, right? And like return, that's a ROI. In the beginning, all kinds of things could happen. Facebook could mess up your ads. Your webinar software could fail to record or function right. You could lose power in the middle of your broadcast. I had that before. Things happen. Sometimes no one even show up at all. Gosh, thank you. I did have that time. So it's important not to get discouraged. Stick to a plan. I did get some frustrated, right? How many times? Now it's like 6 months. Every month I do at least one time. So I'm far away from the target. Okay, so it's around 6, 7 plus previously around dozen of time, I think. But still not enough. Okay, stick to the plan and work it week in and week out. That's what I need to do. The beginning can be rough for some people. Don't quit. It won't be long before you start hitting consistent numbers. Now that you know the model, let's take a look at the funnel you'll be using to move people from registration through the purchase. I think that kind of data will be very interesting. I believe Russell tracked that, but no, in this one, he did not share that. If we track all those 60 plus, right? He did all those weekly webinars. We track every time those conversion data. And how many people registered, how many people show up, how many people they close, and totally finally the sales, right? All this data will be super interesting. I want to see that trend because I definitely had a very low beginning. So that's where I need to see how could I break through it. Perfect webinar funnel. Now it's like, let's see, here is the illustration. We will read the content. So step 1. Send traffic to the webinar registration page. That's a huge one. Okay, traffic. Coming up in secret 22, fill your funnel. I will show, that's the last, actually, that's the last secret in this book. I'll show you how to get people into your funnel. But for now, let's look at the actual funnel itself. Starting with the registration page, I wanted to share a few things you should do on your registration page to get the most people to register. The key to a high conversion webinar registration page is curiosity. Curiosity. That's super important, right? Curiosity. That's it. If your registration page isn't converting well, it's because you are showing people too much and they assume they know the answer. If they think they know what you're going to talk about, then they won't register or show up. If they can't figure out what it is without registering, then you'll get them to register and show up. Easy to say and difficult to do. So here, and he's showing us the headline. How to underline without underline is typically the key to getting people to register. Here's an example of the type of headline I used on my funnel scripts webinar. So here he said, how to get all of your sales letters, scripts, and webinar slides written in under 10 minutes without hiring an expensive copywriter. That's his funnel script. That's for the content part, for the copywriting part. So let me show you here. This is actually his funnel's screenshot. The headline, let's read again. how to get all of your, so how to get your desired results without that pain. Remember, without pain or struggle. Okay, so how to get all of your sales letters, scripts, and webinar slides written in under 10 minutes without, remember that without words is super the key, without hiring an expensive copywriter. Okay, and then it's like a daytime, like a timer, and then a big bar of a registration button. And then the end sentence is said, a free webinar demo will show you the new funnel scripts software that actually writes your copy for you. And under it is all those like little tiny like funnel screens, right? Funnel, like say, funnel flows. And then the finally is those two presenters. One is the Meet Your Webinar hosts, Jim Edwards, and then Russell Brunson. At the top is a logo, funnel script. That's it. Very simple, right? Very simple. And it's just like one page. Sometimes I tweak my headline to increase the curiosity factor. Okay, so tweak the headline to increase the curiosity factor. This is the main registration page we used the first year for the Funnel Hacks webinar. He said the first year. I'm wondering, okay, I want you to notice a few things about this page. Okay, so he's showing another screen about his page. So here is that my weird niche funnel that's currently making me $17,947 per day, and how to ethically lock it off in less than 10 minutes. So you see, he twisted, like he said, tweaked. He tweaked his headline. The first headline is how to get all of your sales letter script and webinar slides written in under 10 minutes without hiring expensive copywriter. And the next one he did is like my weird, such kind of word, right? Niche funnel, weird niche funnel. That's currently making me over $17,000 per day. And how to ethically lock it off in less than 10 minutes. See this one. So give people that curiosity. And this is Russell there. Okay. I want you to notice a few things about this page. First, the picture makes no sense. That's true. It's just some random picture, right? It's working. Okay. When you look at it, you have no idea what it is or why I'm doing it. It's just like give people curiosity. They don't know what he's doing. It arouses curiosity. Find a picture of you that's kind of related to the topic, but kind of strange, to help increase your conversations dramatically. It's like you say business related, but it's not direct telling you whatever. I do not recommend putting video on a webinar registration page. Not recommend putting video on a webinar registration page because you will reveal too much. Rarely, if ever, will it beat a strange image. That's good to know. So majority of people actually do not want to put their video there. Okay. But sometimes, by the way, and video can even make that like elective results, and people will judge you, especially ladies, right? I don't know, men, whatever. They judge you. Oh, your appearance, your tone, your confidence, your whatever. They judge you, right? So yeah, picture's better. But if you do a video, be sure to test the page without a video as well. Okay. A second. The headline builds a ton of curiosity. The headline. So remember to twist your headline time from time to try which one works better. So I definitely need to work every week on this because every week I could try. He said what? For a year? Main registry may use the first year for the Funnel Hacks webinar. So he used it for a whole year. That's good. So you do not need to change every week. Okay. The headline. Okay. My weird niche funnel that's currently making me over $17,000 per day, and how you can basically log it off in less than 10 minutes. This headline gives you a hint about the presentation, but it leaves so many unanswered questions, right? People don't know what kind of funnel, and log it off in less than 10 minutes, right? What niche is it? Is it really possible to make $17,000 per day? Can you really ethically lock it off? How in just 10 minutes? So all those kind of questions. So The headline is the key, right? The picture and as well. The page number 3, the page uses urgency and scarcity. Get it from in here? Urgency and scarcity. Nothing gets people to act, to register, show up, and buy better than urgency and scarcity. These are your secret weapons. Use them. So let me see what he used. Urgency, scarcity. He used like today's time, 6 p.m. and then counting down the clock. There's like from his picture showing only 50 minutes down, right? And what kind of scarcity? Get a free 2-week trial just for the scarcity and timing. Okay. All right. So let's see. It gets like, oh, it's quickly registered. And also give some like a bonus, like a plus, get a free 2-week trial to ClickFunnels just for registering for the web class today. See, there's some like an offer, a bonus there, right? You get stimulated. Okay, step 2. Let's say step 1 is send traffic to the webinar. Okay, let me see, where is that? Okay, now take step 2. This is like a perfect webinar funnel. Okay, step 2, send registrants to a thank you page with a self-liquidating offer. Thank you page. That's a okay. So now he means like this funnel step. Okay, funnel step 1, step 2. That's page 1, 2. Okay, like that. So first is all the traffic to the registration page. Okay, webinar registration page. The mark there. And the second one is a thank you page. And thank you page will have an offer already with a self-liquidating offer. That means this offer will sell some small bucks, but it will cover like a front-end investment, like advertisement or other costs to drive the traffic. After people register, we take them to a thank you page where we give them the basic information for the webinar. On this page, I do like to include a video. Yeah, after them register. Okay, now it's a video with me talking about why I'm so excited for webinar. But they've already registered. You need to have a more warm connection and rapport. They need to feel my passion, excited, and for the subject, or they won't show up. That's true. So here you need to give a pretty clear why, and also the passion. Otherwise, they won't show up. Remember, registration page is about curiosity, and this registration page. The thank you page is about your passion and excitement for what they are about to experience on the webinar. So let's put it here. So the first page is about curiosity. Let me circle it many times. And the step 2 is your passion. Okay. Okay, that's here. This is the second page. You can see Russell. This is like a video, right? It's a confirmation thank you page. And also the training starting in how much time is also the clock is still there, counting down. The step number 1, get your free 2 weeks trial to ClickFunnels before the webinar starts. See? And here the step 1, before the webinar starts, drive people to the free 2 weeks trial. And the button is create your free ClickFunnels account now. So while they're waiting, get them to create an account. How genius is that, right? It's another free trial, 2 weeks trial. After 2 weeks, people may pay or invest to get in. Okay. One of the biggest is, one of the biggest secrets about the thank you page is that you can and should use it to sell people something. That's true. Add the thank you page to sell people something. We call it a self-liquidating offer, or SLO. There are a few reasons you want to include this offer here. Okay, that's a momentum there. It's a key. Self-liquidating offer means means it liquidates your ad costs. That's right. Often you can completely cover your ad costs from the product you offer on your thank you page. That means everything you sell on the webinar is pure profit. That's a key, right? So you will not have that kind of a nervous panic. Oh, I invested in the advertisement, I'm not getting it back, right? But it should be like a liquidating, self-liquidating. I love that word, self-liquidating, or self-sustainable offer. Okay, if they buy something that complements what the webinar is about, they are most likely to show up live. Okay, here like the words here is compliments. Okay, compliments. What your webinar is about, for example, let me think about mine. Mine's about launching, how to launch your profitable and impactful online business in 90 days. My webinar or my masterclass will be about that. So what will complement that? I do have an affiliate of ClickFunnels. Should I show people the ClickFunnels or use my own tool? My own tool is so far, let's see, the let's say content creator, so far the vision board stuff, and then the content challenge. I also have my offer, creating the offer blueprint. What else? So I'm just thinking what would be the super best compliment for the webinar that they are likely to show up live because it's so attractive. And if they buy it, they will show up. If they buy it, they will show up. The webinar will help them launch and launch. So the offer, now to the offer and content, both of this. Let me see. Both offer and content will be like the compliment part, especially offer. So that means that definitely they're like an offer blueprint something. And also funnel. Let's see. I could have my tools and also like a ClickFunnels as my affiliate platform, right? I could provide that as well. People to get their 2-week trial. I could exactly use this. Exactly use this, right? Use Russell's one. But even though we're talking differently, but the step one, get the free 2 weeks trial. So that's a beauty of affiliates. You do not necessarily for me, I'm not owning ClickFunnels, right? But I can use my affiliate link to promote that. And it's like for free. It looks like people for thinking for free, 2 weeks trial, and they build up that. And then when I teach their launching, right, then if they use this platform, that'll be much easier. And also easier for their scaling. Okay, number 3, buyers in motion tend to stay in motion. Yeah, unless you do something to offend them. That means if they buy from you before the webinar, they are a lot more likely to buy from you on the webinar. Ooh, that's a key, right? You just like a warm up, let's say. Get them warm up. Work up your buyer. Okay, we need to warm up. So while they're waiting for something, you will deliver the value to them. You let them buy some low-end stuff or even like not really buying, right? It's like a free trial. If they get it, right, it's like really warm up their buyer. And this is actually a free trial is a perfect example. They do not immediately get the money to you. There are like a 2 weeks trial. So you're giving them more values in addition to the webinar or the masterclass. And warm up your buyer. And eventually, if they get this one, they will buy. More of them maybe buy on your webinar, on your live one. Okay, I like my SLO offers to be lower ticket, usually $37 to $47. Okay, that's a lower ticket. Or the free or $1 trial to a membership site. So interesting. Where is his $37, $47 stuff? Because he asked people to create a free ClickFunnels account now. So there's no money involved. Okay, let me see. A free trial to a membership site. That's he said. Okay, so 2 choices. Okay, there is a free trial to a membership site. You can use the ClickFunnels. And then otherwise there's no lower ticket around the $37 to $47. Like for example, if I give them like an offer blueprint, like I have a content creator, let me see. Content creator, that's like we have advanced copy, that's a few, I forgot. $18 or something dollars and $27 an offer. I could also put some another something dollars there. Okay, let's see. I will plan more about that. When we launched the Funnel Hacks webinar, we decided to give away a free trial to ClickFunnels on the thank you page. Honestly, it was more of an afterthought, but we did it anyway. That's interesting. Okay, the launch first, I guess. And then they decided to give away a free trial to found on the thank you page. And then they found out it's like really a good practice, right? Looking at the stats from the first year of following this model, more than 15,000 people have created ClickFunnels trials from that link. And over 4,500 are still active. That's how many? Let me quickly think. That's almost like 1/3, right? Around 30%. If you do the math, we have over $450K. That's like $450,000 a month in recurring cash coming in just from our thank you page. Woo! How much is that? So let me see. 45. What does it mean? Are still alive? Okay, let me see. Everybody pays about 100. Oh, okay, yeah. He has the offer. It's like charge people $97 a month for the membership. That's a lower end. My membership since the beginning, it's already almost like $300 a month. So we have the pro level, and that's 97 is his basic level. So that's why it's around $100, right? Times 4,500. That's $450,000 a month in recurring. That's like, okay, that's 97 or 99, forgot, but anyway, like a monthly membership. So that's like a 1/3 stay. Some people quit, some people cancel the membership, some people may think this is not for them, but still 1/3 of them stay. And that makes continuous $450,000 a month. Looking at this, don't you want to become an owner of a software? Gosh, I'm thinking that's a great deal. Okay, step 3. Remember, step 1 is like the registration page, and second is a thank you page. Number 3, send a series of indoctrination emails. That's like a follow-up, some kind of a indoctrination emails. Okay, so after registration, you need to send them a series of emails. Provide further values, remind them, and before them show up to your live one. Okay. So let's see. Sounds like this one is step 4 is send reminders. That means this one is more like indoctrination. Let me see. Between the time someone registers for the webinar to the time you deliver live, there are about 10 million distractions that could keep them from showing up. That's true. Let me see how long he's doing this. His counting down is about, some counting down is very close, like in minutes. Actually, remember he promotes Monday to Thursday morning. That means like normally the longest people will show is like in 3 days, right? In 3 days. Okay, so if you're not careful, the people who you paid for with advertising won't remember who you are by Thursday. That's true. So during the in-between time, I send the registrants videos to help introduce them to my philosophy, get them excited about the webinar, and pre-sell them. This is super important. I think so far I'm quite weak on this part. Send them the videos. I need to figure out which videos to send them. Now I have so many videos on my YouTube channel, and you should send some brief one, not so long one, right? For me, each of the videos is pre-selling them. Pre-selling, super important. Pre-selling them on one of my 3 secrets. One of my 3 secrets. Remember, each of the 3 secrets is tied to a false belief patterns. So I make a video talking about that belief pattern. Ooh. And then that's great. And then tell them that the webinar will help them discover why that isn't true. Okay, so first in your email, share them some video about some false belief, and then tell them the webinar will share with you more details, right? Discover why that's not true and why the opposite is actually true. Don't answer questions in that video. Oh, that's key, okay? Do not teach through those presenting things. Just increase the curiosity for what they are going to learn on the webinar. This is the key. Okay, let me put a mark here. Curiosity, curiosity, curiosity. You see that before you really start your live, everything's about curiosity. And the page 2 is about pre-sale, right? Curiosity and passion, 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 passion. The main concern people share with this sequence is, but what if they register on Wednesday and they only get 1 or 2 of the indoctrination emails before the webinar? That's true. And some people maybe register in the morning of Thursday. Many people are last minute people, right? The Thursday, and then they did not get anything maybe. Here's the thing. The introduction sequence is not essential to the sale. It is an amplifier. If they only see 1 video and then they attend the webinar, that's okay. Videos 2 and 3 may come after the webinar. And that's fine. Let me see. How come they set up the video 2 or 3 may come after webinar? Because they set up like a release model. Like video 1 is immediately, video 2 is like 1 day after the register, video 3 is 2 days after. So that means it could be totally, if they register later, it could totally after the webinar. Don't stress about it. Sometimes one of the indoctrination emails is the thing that gets them to watch a replay or to purchase after webinar is over. Let's see. And they make them all like in the front. I remember in the funnels, you could set up like, for example, some emails to, let's say, the emails should be to compare with when the webinar will happen that time. Like you can either before or after. So here is some a little bit technical details, but he mentioned that it's not essential to the sale. Okay, it's like they could still be after. Okay, if it's after, you could the introduction email is the thing that gets them to watch a replay or to purchase after webinar is over. Okay, we show them the watch a replay stuff. Step 4, send reminders. Reminders start on, okay, then you say the previous one, the email. There are 2 kinds of email. One type of email is indoctrination email. Send them like videos to create, like to share about these false beliefs or create a curiosity. And then another types of emails about reminders. The reminders start on Wednesday. Okay. Here are some good details. Reminders starts on Wednesday. That means 1 day ahead. Just send quick emails and this quick one, okay, brief one. Or text messages that say something like text message. So that means when they register, you need to have a blank to connect their phone number, and you need to set up some like a phone services to put the text message to them. Hey, don't forget we're talking about something live tomorrow at what time, right? And people don't always read every email, so I like to send one the day before we go live, one the morning of the webinar, one an hour or so before we start, another about 15 minutes before, then a follow one that says we're live, join us. Okay, how many? Let's count. Okay, so 1 day before, one the morning of the webinar, that may be like let's see, 4 or 5 hours more than that, and then it's 1 hour or so, and then it's about 15 minutes before, and then follow the one said we're live, join us now, right? Now. Total 5 reminders. Okay, so step 5, present the webinar live. Now you present it. So he's showing all this flow. It's great. I like to present my webinars on Thursdays. Others might prefer Tuesdays or Wednesdays, but that matters less than following the pre-webinar indoctrination series. Okay, that matters less than following the pre-webinar indoctrination series. Okay, the pre-webinar. The perfect webinar scripts and the follow-up sequence. Okay, for the actual webinar, here are a few things to keep in mind. Ooh, it has 6 things to keep in mind. And we have so many. Step 7, okay, there are step 7, go to step 7, okay. So present a webinar live, some webinar live, okay. Some reminders, okay. Number one, the webinar should be about 90 minutes long, 1.5 hours. The first 60 minutes, you focus on breaking and rebuilding their false belief patterns. That means the first 60 minutes, you focus on those 3 secrets, right? Remember the teaching content? This is typically the hardest part for people to get right. They try to teach, they try to share cool stuff. Remember, it's not purely teach, even on the, not just for those let's say indoctrination emails, but also not teaching in this webinar live. You focus more on transform their beliefs, remember, and they don't understand why they don't get lots of sales. The core teaching is identifying, okay, the core teaching, identifying their false belief patterns. That's true. If you do this right, the product will sell easily. If you do it wrong, you will struggle. Review the perfect webinar section 12 times until you master section on belief patterns. Wow. So that's the section 3. We need to review it time again and again. Follow those like slides and how to build those like breakdown and then rebuild beliefs. The last, okay, let me put it here. Review the perfect webinar section 1,000 times until you master section on belief patterns. It's super important reminder. If you can master this, you master the sales. Number 2 is the last 30 minutes is a pitch, the sales pitch, okay? You deliver, so sometimes I did 2 hours and it's too long. So I need to make my teaching, not really teaching the breaking false belief part within 1 hour. The last 30 minutes is a pitch. You deliver that with the stack. Remember stack? Okay, the pitch, stack, and add in the closes. Remember, he mentioned about the 16 closes. Within the 90 minutes is over. When the 90 minutes is over, I usually spend the remaining 15 to 30 minutes for Q&As. Also, totally, that's true, makes sense. So remaining 15 to 30 minutes for Q&A. So it's total 2 hours, closing people between each question. The best time of day for your webinar depends a lot on your market. I schedule my webinars during the day because most people in my market are entrepreneurs who usually have more freedom over their schedules during the day, me too. And by the way, I'm a mom, right? We are parents. We need to do the work in the work time and then give the family the evening time. Other markets where people have 9 to 5 jobs usually require nighttime webinars. I'm glad I did not choose that because, yeah, intentionally did not choose it. So when you present a webinar, it will depend on your particular audience. Okay, yeah, best time of the day. So I choose daytime. I choose normally is afternoon, Eastern time, so 1 p.m. A little bit early actually for West Coast is still like 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock for East Coast, for the West Coast. For East Coast is 1 p.m. So you could do either 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. Okay, so let's see. Number 4, I like presenting my live webinars on gotowebinar.com. And now we have, I'm wondering, oh, during that time, there was not, when he was read this book, Zoom is not so popular yet. Zoom is super thrived, right? It's so popular through the pandemic. So GoToWebinar, that's the old one, and use Webinar Jam or other software. Yeah, I used both of them. My favorite is Zoom. Each system has pros and cons, so you have to figure out what's best for you. Let me put the Zoom here. Now, number 5, typically about 25% of the registrants show up on the webinar. Actually, that's a quite high number, sometimes not so good. If fewer than 25% attend, focus more on the indoctrination sequence, that's where we miss. Spending, okay, so this is those seniors key, okay? If less than 25 attend, focus on indoctrination sequence, sending text message, reminders before the webinar. Emails 1 hour before the webinar, again 15 minutes before, okay? You've paid a lot of money to get them registered and you're going to have to push hard to get them to show up. Yes, just follow the steps. Okay, so this introduction, that's where I miss. I do have the reminders, but I need those indoctrination. Gosh, I need to remember this word, indoctrination sequence. And also text message. So far, I did not connect your phone number. I need to figure out how to use this phone service. Number 6, when I transition from the content to the page, I check how many people are still on the webinar and I base my closing stats on that number. So if I have 250 people who are still on the webinar, when I start the page at the 60 minutes mark, okay, and I know that I typically close 15%. I'll probably make about $37,500. Oh, see? So closing, last time you said we talked about it around, okay, 15%. Wow, that's quite a high number. Close 15%. You could calculate how much is like each offer, right? 15%, 250 people, 15%. That's how many? Times 250. You say 250 people. Okay. That means this is like a 12. Let me do some quick math. That means almost like a 38 people. It close. And okay, that's right. You said each one is like times $100. That means like $1,000. Okay, true. So everyone pays about $1,000. That is $37,500. $37,500. Okay, each one is like $1,000 offer. Okay, what will you close rate be? Oh, okay. I remember his closing offer is about just 1,000. Wow. Okay, so if you have a higher ticket, that means fewer people you need, right, to get to your target. What will your close rate be? At first, it will probably be platinum. Yeah, just a few percent. That's why you need to do it live so many times. When you have a 5%, sometimes like that, 5% close rate, you have a good webinar and are likely going to be profitable on the front end. Wow. So that's some benchmark. I love all this data. It's like a 5% is good. Okay. Then if it's like a 10%, let's say, when you get it to 10%, then I believe you have $1 million a year webinar. Ooh, $1 million a year webinar. When you go above 10% like him, 15%, well, just say that 15% we did just shy of $10 million the first year. So it pays to keep refining your conversion rates by tweaking and presenting live presentations, Sounds like simple, right? Sounds like really simple, but we need to implement it. Now, step 6, send follow-ups and create last-minute urgency. So this is after, okay? After live, follow-ups and create last-minute urgency. As soon as webinar is over, we shift the focus to the replay. Okay, replay campaign. Some people get really intense with the replay campaigns, but the basics are urgency and scarcity. Remember, always as long as it's our offer is urgency and scarcity. That's what gets people to take action. I usually double my sales between the time I end the webinar and when we close down the offer Sunday at midnight. Wow, that means like a replay sales. That's a later, just after. So that means like a live 50% sales and after live is another 50. So double his sales between time and so that's after. Okay. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you will deliver follow-up emails. That's super important because you get half of the sales from those follow-up, okay, including webinar replay link. The first day, I talk about what a great response we had on the live call and offer them a chance to watch a replay. Okay, yeah, I talk about, okay, talk about what a great response we had on the live call and offer them a chance to watch a replay if they access it quickly. Urgency, remember urgency. When the cart closes, the replay link disappears as well. Scarcity, okay? Also, urgency. Sometimes in my follow-up sequence, I will send a PDF cheat sheet, similar to Cliff's Notes. Let me see, also Cliff's Notes, like a PDF cheat sheet that briefly summarizes what we covered in the webinar, or even a PDF version of my slides. Wow, PDF version of his slides. I hope I could get that slides. So all this like a previous like a perfect webinar presentation that will be so illuminated, right? I think this is reminder for me to find such kind of slide so they can see what we covered in the webinar. Some people are, so it's just like a guidance, right? You refer to the slides and at the same time you watch it live. That will be super, super cool. Some people are more visual learners like me who prefer to read text, read text over watching the video. Oh, visual learners. Okay, here's some, I think they're logically strong. More visual learners prefer to read text over watching a video. Definitely not. It's the wrong way. Okay, so visual learners prefer to watching a video than read text. Okay, people are busy and they may not have time to watch your 90 minutes presentation, but they will scan over your PDF. So that means like a less visual person. That means less. Let me correct that. I should tell Russell someday. Give him that free audit. But they will scan over your PDF. In this email, I also remind them that the offer is only live until Sunday. These few days are all about amping up the urgency and scarcity. If people think they have all the time in the world to buy, they won't. If people think they have all the time in the world to buy, they won't, okay? You will not give them that time. On the last day, I send a couple of emails reminding them, the last day, a couple of emails, okay? Sometimes we get annoyed, right, as an audience, like a couple of emails reminding them that the card closes at midnight. I recap the main reasons they should buy and leave it all at that, okay? Main reasons. It's amazing how many people will hit the buy button 1 minute before midnight. Hit the buy button 1 minute before midnight. How many of you admit that? How many of you are really last minute buyer? Sometimes I may be that, sometimes occasionally. Now, maybe sometimes I make a decision very quickly. Like for example, the Funnel Hacking Live events, annual events, and normally I attend the live events, and before I leave the live events, we just buy for the next time. So like a whole 1 year of like an early purchase. Okay, so now I've already learned to be ahead. Step number 7, close the cart. Sunday at midnight, it's time to close the cart. Okay, clap, clap, clap. Time is over. The offer is done and the buy buttons are deactivated. Okay, the offer is done. The buy buttons are deactivated. That's it. You completed your perfect webinar funnel. Yeah, you really do that because people sometimes they have that kind of a by chances kind of a mindset or psychology. So, oh, maybe after that they still open it, right? So you need to really deactivate it. Okay, repeat. Now the whole process is 7 steps. And then like a repeat. Monday morning, after rest in the Sunday. Oh, this is a really intense kind of a campaign, right? Like every week you will do this. Monday morning, you start all over again with step 1, driving traffic. Each time you go through this process, you will improve. You'll figure out different ways of presenting that, getting more people to buy. You'll answer more questions. You'll fine tune your ad targeting. The point is to never stop after 1 try, especially if you had disappointing results. That's true. Never stop after 1 try, even like after 10 tries, right? Never stop, especially if I have disappointing results. I sometimes had disappointing results, and sometimes people did not show up. Sometimes I get dozens of people register, but did not show up. So that means my indoctrination kind of document or emails should be followed up. Okay. No one showed up for Nice Benny's first live webinar. She's lucky. Just for first webinar. She had a few hundred people registered, yet for some reason, no one showed up. Wow, a few hundred people registered. She had spent months preparing and not a single soul attended. but she didn't give up. She kept refining her process. I think a few hundred people registered. She used the advertisement already. Okay. And she wound up making just over $1 million in her first year. Keep refining our process. Okay. With that, that's one of Russell's clients, Miss Benny. Yeah, she showed up on 1 year at a live video, and she also did all this kind of testimonials, Russell's early success coaching. Would that be okay with you if you knew you could make 6 or 7 figures a year? Would you keep going in the face of disappointment? Yeah, me too. Okay, so we need to have that faith. So we could make 6 or 7 figures in a year. Okay, what happens if you get great results from your first live webinar? Should you automate it and move on to something else? No, this is a huge mistake people make, automating too soon. Okay, I ran the funnel hacking webinar 60 plus times on a hacking webinar before we finally decided to automate it. 1 full year of the same webinar, week in and week out. Oh gosh, so that's my next year challenge. Not next year. Okay, so actually after summer, even before summer. Okay, I need to start before the summer vacation. I will take 1 month summer vacation, more than 1 month in China, international, to Dubai and China. And I need to do this already a few times continuously. Previously, I'm doing this once a month. So I had some like a break weeks doing other things, other offers. So now I want to concentrate on this weekly, week in and week out. So starting from 2023 through into 2024. That's my commitment. So now this year, I'm doing this abundance reading every day, 365 days. And next year is like weekly webinars. Okay, in fact, to this day, I still do it live a few times a month. A few times a month. A month has 4 weeks. How many times he's doing it? Also, it's like crazy. Okay. And some weeks, let me see. 1 full year of the same webinar, week in and week out. And some weeks I did 5 or 6 times. This day, I still do it live a few times a month. And different one. I know it's not just like a funnel hacking webinar. So this is already set up the tone for my the rest of this year and next year's challenge. I will call it webinar, perfect webinar. Let's see, perfect webinar challenge. Okay, this is my challenge. I'm taking it. So after this week, by the time we finally automated, that presentation was as tight as it could be. We had every objection covered. We knew exactly how to get traffic. We had just the right follow-up sequences. And now it's all down to the numbers because we spent so much time perfecting the webinar. We get predictable results from the automated version. Wow, predictable results. Perfecting the webinar and the numbers, okay? Every objection covered. Where exactly how to get traffic, all this kind of like a face advertisement, targeting things, they've already figured all out. The presentation was tight and right follow-up sequences. Okay. So the last step is to repeat your webinar again and again, run it every week for a full year and watch what happens to your bank account and your expert status. Bank account and expert status. Whew. That is secret number 17. How much time? I'm not sure. We will read quite some time, but this is a perfect. And wow, how many notes I take. You can see all those kind of things. And this is perfect guidance number. This is secret number 17. So we just finished it. Tomorrow we will go to another model. Okay, for secret 18. That's a 4-question close for high ticket offers. That's another great one. So that's a like a wrap up for today. The rest part of the perfect webinar model. Those let's see. He put this model has how many steps? Let's see. So yesterday we talked about the 7 days model. Now this process, the perfect funnels process. Let me say from this flow, how can I have this flow? This is like a process, funnel process. from the one, the traffic, and the registration page. Okay, from the page, let's say 1, and the confirmation page is also thank you page, and indoctrination page is 3, and okay, where's the reminder stuff? And also 4 reminders, and 5 is about the live, 6 about the replay, right? Let me see, double check. 6 about the send follow-ups and create last minute urgency follow-ups. Okay, 6, all those kind of follow-ups, replays. Let me put it here, follow-ups sequence. And the number 7 is close the cart, or you can say close the door. Finish the whole process. I actually added something on Russell's. Originally, he has this process, but not putting all those number sequence there. So according to what I read, I put it there so that reminded me in this process. Super cool. And then we put a mark here, and this is like this flow. It's a flow process, or I could say this flow. And you will know how to do this campaign. Wonderful, right? How many of you found this super helpful? I just personally love it. And plus this challenge already I'm taking so many golden nuggets. And we're finishing this live stream on YouTube channel. Make sure that you will subscribe to our YouTube channel and to get more. And you may want to learn later. I will show some videos as well about how my webinar is going. And I know definitely many frustrations will be on the way, and many failures as well. Frustrations, failures, and whatever. But I'm dedicated to it. Okay, just follow Russell's, what his suggestion. Okay, this proven way, and I just need to optimize it. I know where I'm missing, and I just need to read this thousands of times and put it really into implementation. Okay, from imperfect to perfect. So that's for today, everyone. Make sure subscribe to our YouTube channel for more details. This keep continuous reading, inspiration, and best practice and coaching. And also follow us on Instagram. Okay, you will find a link on our Instagram, Spring Zheng. Just find my name and you can find it, but you will also find a link. And we will have the highlights, just a few minutes, quick highlight every day brief there, so that you will never lose your track. All right, everyone, have a great, peaceful evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.